Well, we picked up this here tractor right here. A couple weeks ago, we did the video on the car trailer, and I said we had a road trip to do. So, we had the car trailer here, and we got it all fixed up, and we took all the chains and chain binders. We went up to Sacramento and got this Ford 2N tractor. And there's a couple of different ways you can tell what these are, but from what I've been told, there's that 9N and then 2N and then the 8N. But the 9N had I-beams for these radius arms, and these are kind of oval shaped, tubular oval shaped, and that came out with the 2Ns. And then the 8Ns came along later, but the 8Ns had a 4-speed transmission, and this has a 3-speed transmission with reverse. So then we have the serial number mounted here, and when I search the serial number, it comes out for 1945. So it's a 2N tractor. They're virtually all the same. This one's got the scraper with it, and we kind of inherited it from a family member, so we decided we'd go ahead and bring it back. We did a 500-mile road trip and brought this thing back, and it's not in too bad a shape. I mean, it needs cleaning up and paint, but I got a water leak here from this little water pump, so I know it's going to have to be replaced. I might have a leak in this radiator. It has a few dings in it, so we're going to run it and find out. Now, I had this thing on the trailer, and I was trying to get it started and get it off the trailer. Well, it wouldn't even run to get it on the trailer, to tell you the truth. But we tried to get that thing running, and I'd start it up for a minute or two, not even a minute. It'd run for a few seconds, and it'd die. And we had gas. We checked the gas. We checked the fuel. We checked the setting on the fuel dial there, because that matters. So we did all that stuff, and I didn't know anything about this tractor that day, and we didn't have time to do any work on it that morning. We just had to get it on the trailer. And so the guy that I got it from, he was over here playing with the screws and playing with the choke, and we were moving this zip tie up and down so we could get more or less choke and hold it to get it to run long enough. And that's how we actually got this thing on the trailer, is we fired it up, choked it, set it with the zip tie, drove it on up the trailer. Well, so what I found out, and we have this air, this is an air vent, comes up here and ties in right here to this air filter, and he kept pulling it off because he was thinking it wasn't getting enough air, I guess. So I'm gonna put that back on. But what I figured out with these old carburetors, these screws were all bottomed out, both these screws. And so I got online, did some research. This is our idle mixture screw, and this is our main jet mixture screw, and got the settings on them. Initial settings, 1.5 turns out on this one, and 2.5 turns out on this one, and that's where they're set. And I got it to fire the other day and run pretty good. So what I thought I'd do today is let's fire this thing up. Let's see if it'll run good enough for me to pull that scraper up and try to knock down some of these weeds, or even just be able to drag this scraper at all in this backyard and make any use of it. What I'd like to do is I'm going to throw this air pipe back on and put it in place, just so I can know whether or not it's going to run with it on there. So let's try. All right, so I've got it pushed in place. It's connected up there. Let's see if it'll draw air through the air filter and run. So let's see here. Oh, dang it. I gotta go in the house and get a key. All right. We got the magic switch turner. Let's see how this goes. That's on. Now let's pull that choke out. Make sure it sinks in neutral. Here's our starter switch down here. We're gonna go for it. Well, she's a runner. It's already trying to lift the arms up. So yeah, it turns the PTO. When the PTO is engaged, it's turning the pump for the lift arms. So it may be a little low on fluid. It takes a few minutes to get her going. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see the water pump's leaking. You can't tell if it's radiator leaking or not. But it idles down pretty nice. So we got the idle up. We'll raise this up. Those arms will come up. There we go. That picks the scraper up. So let's go see if this bastard will scrape the ground. Well, it's sounding really good. Well, that's pretty low idle. I can get in and do some fine tuning on it, but I'm going to try to drive it. What do you guys say? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I got enough hands to do that. Well, there's the old Cougar, the old Jeep. Let's back her up. Looks like this thing's leaning quite a bit. It should be an adjustable arm right here, but I can't get it to move. I don't know if it is adjustable or not. There we go. So which way's shorter and which way's longer? Huh? Oh, that's just getting longer. Okay, well, we got her going. Well, she's running pretty good. I drove her around a little bit, then I dropped the bucket down. It's not really cutting. It's kind of the way the sides are set. It's kind of designed to just scrape. So it's scraping weeds, not really cutting them up. But I hooked it up to that concrete curb, threw a chain around it, and started breaking that out. So she's doing pretty good. I got help over there, but she don't want to run the camera, so you can't really get the tractor in action. So stick with me, and we'll just take a ride right here from the driver's seat. She sounds good. There we go. Hey. The first time I tried to move it, I couldn't get the chain to stay on it. And I drove away and it came with me. Anyway, so we got that unchained. It's back there now. We'll have to maybe come back here later, see if we can shove it back in the corner. I got some holes along the base of that old fence over there that I want to break that up and put it in the holes. Let's go back over there and see if we can get a fish another piece out. Runs like a top. Put it in first gear. Here we go. Back to it. Doesn't have any running boards. That was a feature that came along with the 8N. They'd be pretty handy. All right, let's see if we can throw this chain. This is a much smaller piece, but I got the beginnings of it busted out. See, it runs there in front of the tractor all the way over there to the fence. I got a few pieces to break out. It just gives me something to do, to exercise my heart. Well, I ran her long enough to get her good and warm. She idles pretty good. My air hose came off, so I need to get that fixed up with 2 hose clamps. Maybe buy some new rubber for it. But it was running through that to start with. Anyways, that's how it's supposed to run. I got her warm. We lifted some concrete blocks, pushed them back over there in the corner, forward and reverse. It idles down. It's supposed to go down, I don't know, 450 or so, 400, 500 RPM. I don't know what that is, but we can figure it out. And it's it's got a little hesitation when you try to go to full wide open throttle, and that means, according to the book, I need to make an adjustment on this main screw, but I don't have a screwdriver with me. But it's ran good enough for me to do what I gotta do, and I'm pretty impressed with that. She ain't pretty, but she does the job. I gotta find a grill and some side panels, but look at here, I got it nice and hot, and this radiator is dry as a bone, so even though it's got a big smash in it, it's not leaking. The backside of the radiator is not wet, so there's nothing on the radiator wet, and the radiator is still full of water. And when I start tracing the leak, it runs right up that hose to the bottom of that water pump. And the water pump has to go. So that's our next thing to replace on this. She's running and driving, and 1945, folks, man. 60s, 80 years old. 80 years old. I mean, can you believe it? These things were built to last. These old Ford tractors. 80 years old. So, I'll fix my start button, put it back up here. Shut the key off. Everything's good to go. Yeah, so, not too bad. I mean, it's not set up. It's more set up for leveling gravel, I think, for fixing their driveway. I'd have to adjust this top pin to get the angle back on this back side of this bucket to get it to cut into the ground to get this grass scraped off. And I don't see that being adjustable. I might be able to do it here. It's pretty rusted up, but I could do it here. Adjust this top link longer, and it'll tilt my bucket. This one tilts it side to side. You only got one side that's adjustable, and that one adjusts it side to side. So if you shorten this arm, it raises the side of the scraper up. You may not get it past level, but you might, depending on how adjustable that is. But because it could still come up, looks like it could come up another inch, but it needs to be lubed. It's a pain in the neck right now, and it's pretty level right now. But you let that down, and it lets this side drop, so that this side always stays in relation to the tractor the same. There's no adjustment on it. But this one gets shorter and longer. So as this scraper's behind the tractor, you can adjust this side down or up and work your road. Mostly there's more adjustment down, because mostly they're talking about working the side of the road, working to a crown in the middle, but I was just trying to scrape weeds. It knocked them down, but anyways, that was fun. That was fun. So now I know I need to go order a water pump, and we'll get this thing fixed. Pretty decent old tractor, you know. They're fun to put around with, you know. I don't have a big piece of property here, but if I get this thing tuned up a little bit, adjusted, I should be able to scrape and move some of these piles of dirt that I've got underneath all these weeds, and get some of these weeds scraped down. But I'm going to have to do some adjustment on that bucket. Anyways, thanks for joining us, you guys. Have a great day, and stay out of trouble if you can. Thanks for watching.